feel like we're fading in on Jay singing his song.
I can tell he's gonna sing because he's like looks very nervous and is like waiting very patiently.
Instead of singing, can you please explain to me the PS5 prices?
Never again.
Jay won't shut up. I'm doing my intro. Mari Krombu Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jaylian. We like Animalien. And this is episode 45 of the Anime Protagonist podcast. And we're doing a two-parter this week. Part one, we're talking about spoopy stuff because it's spoopy season. And then we're reviewing... What are we reviewing?
Sing a bit of happiness.
A bit of harmony?
Harmony. Sing a bit of harmony. Yeah, and to do that, we brought a guest on. John!
Is that me?
That's you.
Oh.
John, welcome.
Hello, I'm John.
It was John's request to review this movie.
It is.
So as punishment, John, what's on your mind?
Oh man, a lot of stuff's on my mind. One of the biggest things I'm always questioning though, male nipples in anime, where are they and why are they not there on their chests? I
thought you were just going to finish that at male nipples.
Yeah.
What's up with them?
What's up with them? Why are they? How come?
Why aren't they there?
Seinfeld bit. What's up with male nipples?
Sometimes they're pink and sometimes they're brown.
And sometimes they're just like never there too. Like it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, there's no consistency.
Yeah, they're like Ken dolls.
Yeah.
99% of anime, there's just never a nipple on a man. I mean, if it's a girl, 120%, it's probably gonna be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah. It's whatever.
And censored.
Censored. Yeah.
I think we should have equality in anime nipples. Really.
Yeah.
I want
free the nipple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Draw the nipple.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah.
Hashtag draw the nip.
And you know what?
Yep.
Like, you know what that made me think of too is they always draw, whenever there's like an animal on screen, they always draw the animal's butthole. So it's weird that they would leave out the anime nipples when they're leaving
free
in
the butthole.
No, they do. The butthole is free already.
And it's perfect.
No, free the human butthole.
Mm-hmm.
I demand more
butthole. Or no.
I demand more buttholes in anime. Anyway, Mike, what's on your mind?
Oh, that's a hard one to segue off of. I'm gonna go with Bleach mostly is on my mind.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say butthole.
Yeah.
No, well, now, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bleach.
I'm gonna go with bleached buttholes.
Bleach, but not the anime.
Bleached buttholes.
That's what I was thinking when you were saying bleach.
I'm glad we're all on the same page, but no, I'm not thinking about Bleach the anime. I'm thinking about bleaching my entire house because I still have COVID. Oh. So I've been basically like dousing everything in bleach, drinking it. It's really good.
Again, I thought you were going somewhere else with that bleaching. But...
Get the buttholes off your mind.
I can't.
Okay. Well, yeah. Not a lot other than that. Other than I've been watching a particular spooky anime. But I'm going to save that for our next little segment. I don't want to talk about it yet, but I have a feeling that it will excite one of us here. So, with that.
Into violence or what?
Did I say insight or excite?
I heard excite.
Okay.
I heard insight.
Both. It's going to be both. There'll be a violence, there'll be excitement, it'll be a good time. Jay, Leon, what's on your mind?
What is on my mind? So today I went to the library and I picked up a manga and I just started reading that today. And that is Mojojojo.
I don't believe in libraries.
Jay,
I think you meant JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Are you reading a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure book upside down?
Mojojojo.
Oh, Mojojojo.
Mojojojo.
Exactly. He told us what's up.
He's even got the green little hat.
Yeah,
look at him.
Yeah. Oh my God, he does. But it's basically a 4-coma romantic comedy about a shy kid and a rich girl. I wanted to read it because a lot of people who read Horimiya really recommended it, so I thought, hey, let's give it a try, and the library had it, so I thought, hey, why not? So I'm about 6 chapters into it, and it's pretty good so far. They're still in like the exposition kind of thing where they're still getting to know each other. But I do like the dynamic between the characters, and I'm enjoying it.
How does he keep his brain safe? Like, does he have a helmet that he puts it under? And...
he has a hat.
It's the power of Moe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The power of Moe Kyun. Speaking of power, Cole, what's on your mind?
Well, now power. Yeah, but I was gonna say the gosh darn OP of Yasuri Yatsura.
Oh, that
Oh
OP
my
is
God.
good.
Yeah.
Absolute. Big eye roll. That OP slapped so
it's
hard.
so good. That was an eye roll of like pure pleasure. Or
Oh,
sounds
that
a
was-
little weird.
that was
sorry,
ecstasy.
sorry. that was ecstasy.
Yeah, no, it's so good. In fact, you probably noticed that it's playing silently underneath this part of the podcast for all your listening pleasure.
Wow.
But no, as a card-carrying Canadian, the NHL season is restarted, so hockey is back, baby.
Oh,
My Montreal Canadiens beat the Leafs the other day.
that's
And-
very Canadian. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I'm like the only person in my friend group who actually watches hockey, but that's okay.
I'll watch the occasional hockey game, but like football's my real sport that I care about.
Our local team is opening up their season right now, and we're not able to watch it because we got to record this silly podcast.
That's
Wow,
the
what
only
a
team I
shame.
really care about.
Mm-hmm.
The secret team.
Yeah.
Top secret. No one
The
can know
local
where we
team.
are.
Yeah.
No one can ever know. But I have a random fact for everyone.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yep. Here's my random fact of the week. Did you know that the only English word that ends with MT is dreamt?
Isn't there a band called MGMT?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Cole.
short for management.
Checkmate, atheists. I'm just saying.
Tides come in, tides go out.
Yeah.
Science can't explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me thinking now. I'm trying to think of other words that end with
Yeah,
MT.
I'm trying
but
to think of that too.
Yeah,
I need to
no.
find one that's wrong. We need
If
M
you
and M
can
in
think
the
of
house.
anything, let us know either in the comments below on YouTube, on Twitter, on our Discord, Instagram, wherever you can find us. Links will be on our linktree, linktree.ee/AnyProPod.
Or
Yeah,
rent a
I'm-
plane
I'm
and then like draw it in the sky above Cole's house.
Yeah, right now I'm sitting. I have like a fold-out card table in front of me, and I got a board in front of that table that says, "The only English word that ends with MT is dreamt. Convince me otherwise." And I'm sitting behind that table, and I'm looking smug. So wipe that smug look off my face.
Is that even
If you
possible?
can.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that's just
No,
how you are.
no.
Yeah.
Are you about to drop your mic?
No, then it'll be too loud.
Oh,
People hear that. Yeah.
true.
Yeah, my basic mode is smug, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is true.
we go week number 2 without any news. Jay, do you have any Game Corner stuff?
I can briefly mention the new Pokemon that was revealed. So this recently
Do you have to?
No.
Just briefly say it, Jay. Jay's Game Corner. Here it is.
Okay.
Welcome to the Game Corner.
So
Just sets him up for it and then just says no.
Jay?
Hi,
You may
so-
proceed.
recently, the Pokemon company announced a couple new things for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, including Iono, the electric-type gym leader, who is a live streamer, or like some kind of influencer, and a new Pokemon that I forget the name of. Mike, do you remember the name?
Oh, I don't. It's COVID fog going on here.
Here's a picture of it.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of it. It's like a
Here's a picture
frog
of it.
kind of
It's
thing.
it's a green boy, and he's green.
He
he's got-
looks like a Squishmallow, except he also
Belly
looks very
Bolt.
derpy. There it is. Belly Bolt.
Yeah, Belly Bolt.
What did you just call me?
You heard me.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to him.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone always makes fun of this podcast.
No, everyone makes fun of me on this podcast. You're
It's
the one
true.
who
It's
like
'cause-
set me up for
'cause you're
this
an
whole
alien.
thing and then said no.
Because you're an alien.
I am not an alien, but you know what is alien?
He says very alien-like.
I am not alien.
I am not an alien.
You know what isn't alien?
What?
Spoopy anime, because it is October. Let's talk about some
Ooh.
spoopy anime.
Ooh.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you for segueing so nicely. Good job, Jay. Here's a round of applause for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was so nice. That was the nicest we've ever been on the podcast.
Yeah, specifically to
but
me.
the niceness ends here.
The niceness
Oh,
ends
yes.
here. This week we're going to talk about some spooky anime. We're just going to give a couple recommendations and talk about some spooky anime that we like and think you should check out.
Heck
So,
yeah.
John, because you're our guest, we're going to put you on the spot again here.
Oh my god.
What is one spooky anime that you think more people should watch?
A spooky anime I think more people should watch is a late 2000s anime called Ghost Hunt.
Ooh.
I think it was Studio JC staff. But It's pretty different. It's a very like ghost hunters or paranormal investigators type thing, where a girl damages equipment for the Shibuya paranormal investigators, and to work off her debt, she has to become their assistant, and they go on many spooky adventures with ghosts, dolls, and other ghosts.
It's actually rated pretty good on Mal too. 7.77. That's
Is this the show with Zach Baggins?
Yeah.
what?
He's so moe, dude. Like kawaii AF.
Who is Zach Baggins?
The
guy
with the
from
nose?
Ghost Hunters. You know the guy. He's got a face.
Yeah.
That's literally every
buff
person.
Arms, the buffest arms.
He's the angry guy on Ghost Hunters, like the show Ghost Hunters.
The ghosts don't
Ghost
want to
Hunters?
mess with him. You know, Ghost Hunters?
Does he
Is that what
punch
it's actually
ghosts?
He punches ghosts.
I'm guessing he hunts
Oh, that
ghosts.
sounds cool. That sounds cool.
He threatens to punch ghosts anyway.
It's like, hey, spooky boys, you here? I'm gonna punch you. And they're like, ooh. That's why nothing happens in most episodes.
Is he the guy who goes, "Hey demons, it's your boy"? Is that
No,
guy?
Oh, yeah.
that's
Isn't
Shane
that the meme?
Madej.
Oh,
That's Shane Madej of BuzzFeed Unsolved fames.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Listen, I like this stuff because I like spooky things.
You're deep in
But
this.
I don't watch enough spooky anime. It really, I might check this one out, to be honest
might
with you,
too.
John.
It's really cool. I believe it was a shoujo manga.
Yeah, it says demographics shoujo.
Yeah,
shoujo spooky.
Cole is like immediately interested by the shoujo idea.
Let me pull this up on Annie list here.
The novel and manga it's based off, it's a different name. It's called like Akuryo Taisen or something like that. But then they called it Ghost Hunt for the anime. So
Of course, naturally,
Mhm.
as you do.
they're like, ooh, that's too much Japanese. We're just gonna put English words.
Now, Jonathan,
Ooh.
a quick question actually, segueing into that a little bit. Do you speak Japanese? I don't know how it works in your what you do.
I do, yes. I speak somewhat of Japanese. I don't know if that is correct English. I obviously don't speak English, but
It's okay, none of us do.
Yeah.
yeah, that was Japanese was my minor in university, and I'm currently taking classes again because I want to major in Japanese.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. I would imagine it would come in handy doing what you do.
Yes, common misconception. Wait, did we mention?
I don't think we did. I didn't know
should
for
we
sure
maybe
if you
mention
wanted to,
what you
yeah.
do? Because I don't know if you're comfortable sharing what it is that you do. You don't have to maybe. You're a translator of
Not a translator.
Media?
I'm a subtitle.
a subtitler of media.
The
We'll just leave
Chinese
it there.
cartoons.
Yeah, we won't say where or anything.
Oh.
Just yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I work with subtitler or translators, I should say.
So that involves like putting the actual subtitles into the show, or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Formatting, proofreading, timing. A lot of the times.
I've always thought it must be very painstaking to like go into each frame and like physically like etch in the little letters into each piece of film.
We're given like a chisel and a hammer. We have to be like tink tink tink, and like, oh, we got one letter in.
I always thought they gave you guys like acrylic paint and a little paintbrush. Paint them on.
You know, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But talking more spooky anime, I'm going to talk about what's on my mind here. I have been watching.
No. We already did that, Mike.
I know, but I saved it. Cole, I saved it.
Oh, right. You did set
Yeah.
this up. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bad.
look at all the brain
Yes.
fog going on in this podcast.
It's
Please,
not even me
Michael.
at the brain fog. I have been watching a little anime from 2006 known as When They Cry, or it's also known as Higurashi When They Cry. I don't know what the actual name is. Is it back there? Is it behind Jonathan? He's pointing behind him.
Yeah, that's all of the Japanese box sets, the Americans releases.
Oh, I had a
Oh my
feeling you were going to be
goodness.
into this one.
I've
You
got my
like
girl.
didn't you like beg
my
your
girl right
bosses to get the new one?
Yes, sorry, that's I dropped my cell phone. Yeah, I went on a tirade, one of my few ones where I'm just like, I have to get this show. You have to let me work on it. Please. And then I was kind of disappointed. So.
That sounds fitting for the sequel. I've heard people were pretty disappointed in it.
It was very hype, and then it turned into
Well, I think you got to give him props for like trying to do something
New,
wildly
I guess?
different, you know?
Yeah. And also, like, when this show was first announced and the build up to it, everyone thought it was a remake, right? Like, it wasn't revealed
Yeah.
to be a sequel until after.
it was a big
Spoilers.
old troll.
Yeah, they kinda-
Spoilers, Jay.
It kind of doesn't go
Is that
very
spoilers?
well, right? Like, it's not a good move to trick your audience into, I don't know, just, I can't see how that would go well. And it didn't. But yeah, I'm watching the original one, which is quite nice. It is very good. I am watching it a mixture of dubbed and subbed, though, which I don't know. The dub's kind of iffy, but it's just like, sometimes I just don't want to look. So it's just kind of, you know?
I'm pretty sure in the dub that Rika is voiced by Palmon from Digimon. I have not looked that up, but I swear to God, it's the same actress.
It could be. Voice actresses are like a bunch of people I've never heard of, or like I don't recognize any of the voices really. So that actually would fit. The timing isn't probably right. I just watched, for people who've watched this show, there's a scene involving a fingernail clipping or fingernail removing. It was one of the harder things to watch I've seen in anime. So yeah, if you're feeling spooky vibes and you want to watch something that's really going to make you super uncomfortable and enjoy it, this is actually probably one of the best horror anime that I think I've watched ever, thinking so far. I'm not all the way through it yet, and so I don't really know what's going on. It's kind of like a mystery. Like, they don't really make it clear what's happening. So it'll be like kind of episodic, like 4 episodes will be this one storyline, and then it'll end and it'll go to another storyline, and it won't really explain what's going on. And I'm assuming at the end it probably will. But yeah, I definitely, if you want to watch them in spooky, I recommend this one. Does anyone else have any spoopy anime recommends?
Jasif, perhaps you bring something to us from your home planet?
I do bring something to the table. So full disclosure, I don't really watch as much horror anime as a lot of other people here. So my recommendations are going to be either so bad it's good horror anime, or horror anime that are genuinely just comedies, but they have like horror vibes to them.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So the first one I'm going to recommend is, I'll save that 1 second, is King's Game, which came out in 2018.
Okay. Not what I thought he'd say.
I think I know which one you're going to talk about, and it'll be the second one. But this one is, it's genuinely like really bad. It's essentially about this game where these kids in high school get like commands to do on their phone, and if they don't fulfill the command, they just die brutally.
Oh.
And like the way it plays out, it doesn't feel like it can be taken seriously at all. So like it feels like satire, but it definitely wasn't intended to be satire. Like, it's supposed to be taken seriously, but it absolutely cannot be.
So the 2.1 rating on Crunchyroll seems fitting, considering.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so low.
Wow. What is it out of?
I think
Out
that's
of 10.
Oh, is that out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
2 point. Oh my God, Jay.
But on Amazon, the complete Blu-ray set is 4.3.
Oh.
So with that what you will.
Keep in mind, when I'm saying watch this in an ironic sense, because it is so funny because of how bad it tries to make you scared. It really doesn't, but because of how bad it is, it's so funny.
Okay.
So like just something to, have a couple drinks with the boys and watch a terrible show.
Take a shot every time when the show is bad.
Yeah.
And rest in peace.
I'm reading the reviews on my anime list for it. By the way, it's rated 5 on Mal, so do with that what you will. 5 out of 10. Yeah.
Please read a review.
Down the anime rabbit hole I go. The King's Game is the worst anime I have ever seen. I am not kidding. The King's Game is the most terrible piece of poop I have ever had to sit through. I am honestly shocked at the director's ability to blow all expectations of god-awful anime and that are I don't even continue. Yikes.
Yeah, it's very bad, but for that reason, it is very funny. And because it is actually a horror series, it fits the horror genre. But yeah, if you are kind of uncomfortable with the horror thing, but you still want to get in the Halloween mood, definitely give this a shot.
If you're a little baby who can't handle horror things. You little baby.
There's too much
I miss my home planet. Ooh.
All right, Cole. Well, if that's the case, then why don't you tell me what you like for horror anime?
Please say Pupa.
Have you heard of this show called Pupa? No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I've heard of Pupa.
Okay,
wanna
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
come at you guys. I'm gonna come at you guys with something out of left field, and just let me talk through it. Okay.
Okay.
Something ever since I've thought about horror animes, something that nobody ever talks about that I think should be talked about as a horror anime, kind of, is something, one of my favorite animes of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's it's not advertised as a horror anime, but it's got like a lot of those Lovecraftian like horror elements, like what are the angels? Like why are they trying to attack us? Like it's horror in the sense that it's like this cosmic, like these cosmic entities are like trying to kill humanity, and humanity is just like struggling to fight back against these beings. Yes, you can look into it more. Well, actually, the angels are blah, blah, blah. No. I just mean from a purely, I'm watching it for the first time. These are the things that I'm taking away from it.
Taking it at face value.
Yeah, it's very, not horror-y, but like when you start to think about what it implies, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'd
like
say
cosmic
it's
horror, like
horror.
the insignificance of humanity and human power.
Yeah, and like even if you start looking into the lore a bit more, like what are humans then ultimately? Like
Yeah,
I don't want to get too deep into it.
Oh yeah,
but that's,
I almost dropped some spoilers. I was like, well, humanity is.
There's a lot of spoilers you could drop for that show. You know what though, Cole? That's actually a sneaky good rec though, because it definitely has that like sense of dread, and then also like that emotional sense of dread, if like from within too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the psychological horror as well. Like there's that episode where like Shinji just like
shuts down.
He disappears into that like abyss, and then he just like comes back, and it's like, oh, what does that like he just disappeared, and then all of a sudden he just reappeared. Is that the same Shinji? Is that the same Shinji, or is it a different Shinji? Was it a Shinji that was just created out of nothing? It's freaky stuff, man.
It's the ravens of a madman.
I think the scariest episode of Evangelion is when Asuka dives into the magma and has to inflate her suit, and I was taken back to DeviantArt 2008 and did not have a good time. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's that's something I always think about though, in terms of like it's action heavy for sure, and it's definitely shonen to the extreme, but like when you really start to think about the implications of it, yeah, I'd say it's horror adjacent. John, do you have another one? Please save me. Help me. Get me.
From what?
Do you have another horror anime to talk about?
Oh gosh. Man, I watch a lot. One I watched that I was surprised I actually liked it. Did you ever see Blood Sea or hear of it?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of Blood Sea, yeah.
I wasn't prepared because, it's part of the Blood, like, I guess, metaverse from, like, Blood the Last Vampire, Blood Plus. And then they're like, oh, here's a Blood that's written by Clamp and character designs by Clamp. And I'm like, oh, you mean the card captor Sakura, the Holic, the, Tsubasa Chronicle? Oh, sure, I'll watch that. And it is so ultra violent for, like, no reason. Like, I don't want to spoil, like, some of the stuff, but, like, there's, like, a part where, like, I'll say like 20 random people get put inside of a giant blender, and that's all I'm going to say. And I was just like,
oh
what?
my goodness.
Clamp? You wrote this?
Do you need to have seen the other Blood stuff to enjoy this?
Honestly, all of them, to me, you could watch them on their own and they stand up. Like, I mean, if you watch it as like a big like metaverse or kind of thing, like I think it might fit in, but they're all so different from one another that I don't think you would have to.
Okay.
You just need to know there's a vampire and she's the last one. Or something. I don't know.
Ooh. What a little tease there.
That's
scary.
like Jay. That's like Jay. He's
Is
the
he
last
the
of his
last
people.
alien?
Can we stop with this already?
I'm so sorry you can't
drop
Why
this
are you concerned I'm
narrative.
going to blow your cover?
The FBI is listening in. They're like,
I landed in Roswell in
FBI's like, this is a funny
1947.
joke.
If anyone's got anything to do with aliens, it's Mike. And Mike, what's another horror anime?
Jay, would you like to come to my work for a little meet and greet?
What, with the aliens you work with?
I don't work with any aliens. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then what would I be meeting and greeting?
Shh.
My next horror anime I'm going to talk about is going to be... Oh, I'm tossed up here. There's two I kind of want to quickly talk about. I'm just going to do both because it's my podcast. I can do whatever we want.
It's our podcast, comrade.
Yeah.
It's Olivark Podcasts. including Jonathan's now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's not my podcast, but never mind. I take it
Today
back.
it is.
First one I'm going to quickly talk about is one of my personal favorites, Devilman Crybaby. That definitely
good
fits the spooky vibe, and I feel like you could watch this one and then you're going to enjoy it. It's knowing like it's Halloween time for sure. You really can't talk too much about it without spoiling stuff, but yeah, definitely be prepared for like ultra violence, which is fitting for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, it's got the word devil in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's nothing more spooky than devil and crybabies.
It's true.
And I guess like
Speaking-
Evangelion, be prepared to be kind of bummed after you finished it for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's definitely one where you finish it. It's kind of like when we were watching Edge Runners, and when you're done it, you're just like stare at a wall for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of staring off into space.
Yeah. Oh, speaking John, have you seen Edge Runners?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I'm super hyped for it though.
Okay.
Looks great.
Sorry for
Never mind. There was
Never mind.
there
It was
an
all right.
important- There was a very important question I had to ask you.
John,
Yeah.
join my side and think it's all right.
Was it the Rebecca versus Lucy argument?
It was
Okay.
Rebecca versus Lucy.
We were having this argument in our Discord about which one's the better character, better girl. And yeah, it was a tie, so we really don't have an answer at this point. The answer is yes at this point.
Yeah.
The other one I want to talk about is we have John here, who I know is into magical girls and horror. So I think I should mention one of my favorite of the magical girl anime that also ties into horror, Madoka Magica.
Ooh.
I think that's another good choice for watching in the spooky season because it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like Evangelion. It has like that crazy, like obscure, like bizarro imagery that definitely like makes you feel super uncomfortable. But it definitely leans more into the horror than it does. Like there's the witch's laughter and stuff like that is super creepy. There's obviously like really dark things that happen that definitely tie into the spooky vibe. And it's short too. Both these are really short. One, I think Devilman's 10 episodes. This is 12. They're easy to watch over the Halloween season.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on those?
No, I mean you pretty well said everything that I would say about Madoka Magica. Yeah. The just the design of like what's it called when
Witches.
they go hunt witches domain? I don't know what it's
Oh
called.
yeah.
Yeah. Just how it's like
Surreal.
like cutouts and like it's just really creepy and weird. Yeah. Very unsettling, like you said.
Yeah, I haven't seen Madoka Magica, so I can't really comment on it.
Oh no, Jay.
Jay'll hate it. Jay'll hate it. You
Jay
know
will
I
why?
don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
Have you ever seen like Bakemonogatari or?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen all of Monogatari.
Yeah, so Monogatari director is the same guy who did Madoka, and when
What?
you watch it, it's Shaft and the same director. So when you watch it, you'll be like,
Mm.
"Oh, I know who
That's-
did this."
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why I love Madoka Magica so much too.
Oh, that makes so much sense now that you say that.
It's like Shaft.
Shaft
It's
just being Shaft.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just Shaft,
Yeah.
man.
They give you the shaft, and that's all you need.
Yeah. It was like Call of the Night, except it wasn't Shaft. It was just that director. And
Yeah.
hey, that was all right with me. Jay,
Yes.
we talked about Devil Crybaby.
Yes.
And speaking of
Devil
crybabies,
Man Crybaby.
Devilman Crybaby. Speaking of crybabies, Jay,
Look, I'm just here to help you out. If you're not comfortable with horror, but you still want to get in the Halloween mood, I've got one more show for you. And I think it's a show that a lot of people have seen at this point, but I think it's worth mentioning anyway. That is Ghost Stories, and specifically the dub.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You don't watch.
I knew
you
this
don't-
was coming.
You don't
Yeah.
watch that one sub.
Gross.
Nobody does.
No,
It's
no.
too serious.
Yeah.
This is the
I
one
want
show.
the silly. I want the fun,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
goofy times.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's still a surprise, and it becomes more and more of a surprise as time goes on that this show and this dub even like got out there and is, I think like it's even on Crunchyroll now. Like, it's just insane that some of the things that are said are available on like the biggest anime streaming service.
Yeah. Sometimes you see the clips from it and you're like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What?
2005 was a different time, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
Very
Yeah.
weird to say. Have you? So the I guess the script adapter, the director for the English dub was Stephen Foster. One of my favorite anime of all time is called Steel Angel Kurumi, which he also adapted the dub for that.
Oh.
And I found this out later, and it made a lot of sense because they had lines where, are you allowed to curse on this podcast?
Cole can bleep it.
I'll bleep it out. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
I just wanted to make sure real quick. So in Japanese, the character says like, Oneta no baka, which is like, big sister, you're an idiot. The English dub by Stephen Foster and ADV is like, don't with me, you stupid pink. I'm not even joking. It's that literal. And it's just like, isn't that character like 12? Why is she talking like But going back and looking at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's just what he does, isn't it?
Oh,
That's just what he
That's
do.
what he does.
Yeah.
Does what he
He
do.
do be doing that.
Is there a dub for Steel Angel Kurumi?
Yeah, that was the dub. Like, he
Okay.
did the dub, and it's pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
Is it readily available, that dub? No.
It is not. Gotta shell out the money for the box set, or, I don't know,
Other
Dang.
things.
sail the seas. I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I
don't
also
know.
have a Steel Angel Kurumi shelf. It starts right there.
Oh, well,
Oh,
if you've got it, then just send it on up here.
Yeah.
So that we can watch
I'll
it.
ship it to Jay.
If you want to watch
watch
it,
it,
it honestly might be cheaper for you just to borrow Jonathan's. Just reach out to him.
Yeah.
My phone number is...
Yeah. Here's my address. What do you guys say? Does anyone else have any last spooky thoughts before we dive
I
into
got
the mailbag?
one. I got one last one. It's called Helsing Ultimate, and it is a fever dream, and it is worth the watch just for how insane it is. It's a lot of fun, though. It is.
So good.
It is a lot of fun.
So
I
good.
need to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I know I'd
It's
like it.
what? It's 6 parts, and each part is like an hour.
10.
Yeah.
Is it 10 parts?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's 10 parts.
Oh,
That's right.
I didn't think there was that many.
It's each episode is one volume of the manga, I believe.
They're on. I know I watched them on Funimation. It must be on Crunchyroll now.
Probably.
It
If
might-
not, then it's like going to be
Might be.
ported there
It's on
very
one
soon.
of them. It's on one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. But yeah, it's spoopy, and it's spoopy season. And Jay, do you have a question for? Or no, Mike? Sorry, mailbag. Mailbag.
No. I got a couple quick ones I want to throw out. Death Note. Watch it for spooky vibes too. If you haven't already, it's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Just got the good imagery. And then last one, I forget this. So move on.
Oh,
Let's go.
ReZero's another spoopy
Oh, yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got
Spooky
the
vibes. I didn't say like it's spooky, but it does have some vibes.
Yeah.
It's got girls. That's all I know. There's like 3 of
Rem.
them or something.
Rem Best Girl.
Amelia
Yeah.
Best Girl.
I don't know who those are, but yes.
The blue-haired girl.
Felix Best
Who?
Girl.
Who's that?
Mailbag
Mailbag.
time.
Mailbag.
It's time for the mailbag. As I try to get to the doc. Okay, here we go. We have a message that says, what is the worst anime title in your opinion? So they want to know, this is from Dazed Bunny in our Discord. Come to our Discord. You can send us mailbags,
Come to our
chat with
Discord.
us, talk about all sorts of fun things. They gave an example of Bobo as a worst title. I think that's a great title. I love
Oh,
it.
it's a great title.
First
know.
off, Bobo is one of the best anime titles ever. What you talking about? I'm sorry. I know this is not my mailbag. I just...
Nope, jump in. They asked you too.
No, I'm just kidding. Not that offended.
So then Kratos and Eggs also hopped onto this question too, and they want to know what's your favorite worst anime title. So what's an anime title that you love but is objectively bad? So this is a deep question. We should have thought of this before actually about it.
Oh yeah, I should have thought of this before. I do have one that's worst anime title.
What's that?
I got it right here. I got it right here for you boys. It's
Oh.
called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Aw.
Tear your heart out and stomp on it, but what a f***ed up title for an anime.
So would you say
Or
that's
manga.
your least favorite or your favorite least favorite?
No, I'd say it's a bad anime title because you show it to people and you're like, listen, you gotta read this, and then they're like, I am not reading something called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Yeah.
So not a good one. Not a good one for selling people on.
Yeah, we had the manga at work, and one of my managers saw it and was like, why do we even have this? And I looked at him and I'm like, this is like actually a very heartfelt story that I think anyone could and should read.
I think he meant more in general, why does your employer sell manga? Which is still baffling to me.
Yeah, but I mean, they were specifically talking about that one. Like, they laughed at the name.
Jay works at a store that typically wouldn't sell print media, let alone manga.
Yeah, it's a bizarre choice by them. And for some reason they only sell like fairly ecchi or like adult titles too.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah,
bizarre.
like, didn't you guys sell Berserk?
We still do, yeah.
You sell Berserk and Rent a Girlfriend mostly, from what I could tell.
Yeah. Well, we
Weird.
actually recently got rid of Rent-A-Girlfriend because it was too much.
Wow, and Berserk wasn't?
Cowards.
Berserk wasn't.
That was too much.
That was too much.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's,
One title that I hate, but I think I like the anime a lot is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I don't like the title of that one because whenever I say it, it just sounds like, I don't know. It doesn't...
Skeevy.
Yeah, it sounds like gross, but like the show's kind of wholesome as it is, like on its own. So I just wish I just call it Don Machi mostly because it just kind of like sounds less awful. And then the other one, and I know Jay likes this anime. I don't think it's an anime, but it's a light novel title if you couldn't tell by how long it is.
I think I know which one you're going to say because I thought of this one too.
World End. What will you do at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? Is a horrible title. Why would you title anything that?
That wasn't what I thought of.
What one do you think?
I'll let Jay say his answer because I have a feeling he's going to say it.
I have no idea what you're thinking.
No,
Paul.
okay. It's something called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh,
Kind of a weird title.
it is a very weird title.
As someone who hasn't watched it, I don't know at all what it's about based on the title, which is
Do you
not
like
a good...
Monogatari?
Yeah.
Imagine Monogatari, but like with a lot of water mixed in.
Oh my god, that's like how I described it. I was like, this is Diet Monogatari. What is this?
Yeah, it's like, I love a nice glass of Coca-Cola. What if I put some water in there too? Just to, it's too spicy. I'll put some water in there.
Yeah, spicy.
Ooh, why is it spicy? Any other bad anime titles you guys
Jay
can
is
think of?
shaking with rage right now.
I know.
No, I honestly, like, I get it.
No, I do like Bunny. I do like Bunny Girl Senpai. It's
It's
No,
just
Bunny
light
Girl
novels
Senpai's
for
great.
you, right?
Bunny Girl
Light novels
Senpai's
just have
great.
bad titles.
Yeah. I think this one's gonna be a bit controversial, but D Gray Man is a weird title. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really tell you what the show's about by that name.
He's not D. Grayman?
No.
Oh,
I always think of a Digimon when I hear the
De Graymon.
D Greymon.
D Graymon.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about because it doesn't really do a good job.
Yeah.
That's why you have to watch it and find out who the gray man is and what the D is.
You know what's a good title?
What's a good title?
Quintessential Quintuplets.
That's a great title.
Very good
The
title.
alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says it all right there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a break coming on, guys. Do we have a
I-
question
I-
that we can
yeah.
lead into?
I hear the music fading
Yeah.
in slowly. Jay, do you have a question for us?
I do have a question.
Said unconvincingly.
No, I honestly, I had a question and I forget it, but I'm going to think of one on the spot right now. What is your favorite anime movie? Let us know in the comments down below, on Twitter, in our Discord, or anywhere you can find us. Links can be found on our link tree. That is linktree.ee/AniProPod. And head there and you can find us everywhere.
Yeah.
Man, Jay, I gotta give you props for that. That was very impressive that you just like scrambled to come up with a good question.
Yeah, good question. And break. Never again.
Never again. But what we will be doing again is welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. This week we'll be reviewing the film Sing a Bit of Harmony, and to do that, since he worked on the subtitles, we thought it would make sense to invite John on to talk about the movie and answer a couple questions related to subtitling anime in general.
Oh, that's why he's here.
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Oh.
I thought I was getting blackmailed into this, but
Well, that too. That too.
That was negotiation tactics, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it turns out we actually don't have any compromising photos of you.
here,
Yeah.
I'll take some real quick and send it to you. Hold on.
Okay.
That would be great. Then we
Much
can get you
appreciated.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. I got you back.
This may be a little different from our other reviews since this isn't really a show with an OP or an ED, so we're not going to be discussing those, but we will discuss the soundtrack, characters, and all the other non-spoilery stuff. Then we'll get into spoilers and go into more of an in-depth plot discussion, as well as give our scores on the patented AniPro rating scale. Are you boys ready?
Is
You
it
all
actually
ready?
patented?
It's patented.
Yeah, it's patented. We
Copyrighted.
sent it in. We
Yeah.
sent it into the patent office.
Yeah.
to Thomas Edison or whatever there.
Yeah, that's
He still works.
that's who we sent it to. Yeah, he's still working there. I think.
I'm ready.
I'm okay. I'm ready now.
Look, I got my notes and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I got my notes.
Oh, nice.
Those are the same notes I
Thank you.
took.
He does
Thank
that every
God.
time.
Yeah, I got Ian.
I didn't write notes, but I do have a couple questions that we will be asking John a bit later, so stay tuned for that. But I
Okay.
think in the meantime, let's talk about the soundtrack.
Heck yeah.
Let's. I think that's a very vital part of this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hey, you guys
Considering-
didn't mention to me, this was a musical.
It's kind of a musical.
Yeah.
It is a musical.
What the heck?
And let me say, that lady's voice is terrific.
Yes.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
such a good singer, like
Right.
outrageously good.
This is an important question for all of us. Sub or dub? How did you consume this one?
Sub.
I gladly read these terrific subtitles. Absolute work of art.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I watched it dub.
Oh.
Sorry, Jonathan. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I
I guess I have to say I watched it sub because
Yeah.
I did.
More than
You
once.
watched it raw.
yeah, you
didn't
probably
you?
watched it a lot
Yes.
subbed.
You watched it
Yes.
raw.
Yes, I watched it
Gross.
four times subbed. Then I watched the dub once, and then I rewatched it subbed just for you guys.
Okay,
thank
I
you.
do have a question regarding the dub, Michael.
Yes. I'm the dub boy.
The songs,
The songs.
were they in Japanese or did they re-record them in English?
Now, the dub voice actor's name is
Yes.
Morgan Shipman. And
Okay.
she sung all the songs, and they were terrific.
Wow.
Yep.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did notice,
Interesting.
because I usually, what I'll do with the reviews, if I watch it dubbed, I'll throw on the subtitles. So I guess I did also read your subtitles, Jonathan. Just to kind of like see what the difference is in because they're usually pretty different, the dub and the subtitles. And they did change you know how like when you listen to Radwimps, they kind of change the words a little bit from what the subtitles would directly be. They
Yeah.
did that a little bit. Like, so the meaning's kind of the same, but like the words are different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got a good voice. She got some pipes on her.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if this would be like a K-On! Situation where like they kept the vocals, like the songs the same.
Mm-hmm.
Or if this
That's what I
would
was
be like
expecting.
a Haruhi Suzumiya situation where they re-recorded the songs in English.
I thought the soundtrack actually was really good in it too. Like there's enough songs and that they were like well done enough that they actually had like, okay, this is the chase scene. Let's put a chase scene song, or this is the big moment. Let's put the big swell of the music and stuff like that. All of that was done just like as you would expect it from a good movie, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Especially a musical. Like they really.
They knocked it out of and you can tell that they really put their budget into the songs because it sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Any thoughts on the voice actors, guys?
Well, I kind of mentioned the main vocalist was such a good singer.
I thought she also did a good job voicing Shion. Like, it sounded like she was trying to be a robot, trying to be a human, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really sounded like authentic, and I don't know if that's what she was going for, but it really did make it feel believable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
One
That
thing.
vocal uncanny valley. Kind
Yeah, it was like a little too clean. Like they probably put a good amount of auto-tune on it or something like that. One thing I did notice too that I appreciated was the Toma, the boy who has a crush on main girl there, Satomi.
Mm-hmm.
When he finally sings, there's like one part where he sings. I don't know, in the sub, does he also sing really crappily?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
super off.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. I was like, of course he wouldn't sing good. He's a
Well, yeah, she even says after, she's like, that was
you're horrible.
horrible.
Yeah.
that was horrible.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that kind of leads a little bit into the visuals is I greatly appreciate that they match the lip flaps to like her singing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But not just like flaps, like make the like the actual shapes of what a mouth would make, which you don't usually see in anime.
Oh yeah.
Usually you just see the
Yeah, because I think what they do usually is they just use it's just like an auto-generated mouth that they just slap on the face. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I could be wrong.
I think I watched a YouTube video where they showed that it's actually 3 frames, one
Yeah.
with the mouth open, half open, and then closed, and then they just cycle between.
Yeah, and
That's
they just have like a
actually
library
legit,
of them
yeah.
basically. But
I've always been curious about So the issue with that was there was an old thing where they said the reason why mouth flaps, especially in older shows, the reason why they don't fit the dialogue a lot and the reason why they're just kind of going was that they kind of they were animating it and they didn't really like, they didn't have like dialogue to go off of. Like they were just like, this is like the script, this is what's going to happen. And unlike like an American movie where like one of the first things they do is like record the voices and then animate the mouths to match like the timing and the shapes. So I'm wondering if maybe because it's a film, they went out of their way to record first and match it, especially with the singing.
Yeah, like the only movie or the only real like anime that I've seen do like the actual like, you know, American full on animate the mouth properly is Akira.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking you were alluding to.
Yeah. So I'm curious because when you watch the dub for Akira, it can be a little off-putting because like their mouths aren't doing what they should be.
Yeah.
When you watched the dub, Michael, did you notice that at all when she was singing?
I didn't, but I wasn't also looking for it, so I honestly can't really say.
Okay. Well, it obviously didn't stand out to you then.
No, it definitely didn't.
I'm wondering if it's because when you're adapting it, you can easily fit in like you can for English dub you can like write it to try to make the words being said match whatever the face is doing.
I've heard before too that in Japan they care a lot less about it fitting the mouth flaps and they care more about it fitting the emotion, whereas in the West we do care more about it fitting the mouth flaps. So it might fit better. I'm not sure. It might fit worse, but my guess would be it fits pretty well.
Yeah. Other than mouth flaps and stuff, visually this movie really had its moments for sure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking spoilers yet, but I'm going to mention the solar panel scene at the midway point of the movie was definitely the highlight visually for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it was the point, right?
Yeah, that's...
They were definitely like building up to that, and that's where they wanted to put their money. I think it was like that, and then like that one other scene at the end.
Yes.
With the beam? The beam, yeah.
Well, not before the beam, where like the lights are happening.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I kept thinking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's just like really cool to see like an anime film really trying to be like a Disney film almost.
Yes.
And like even referencing that with like things.
Yeah.
The whole like princess subplot.
Yeah, Moon Princess.
I'm holding up my notes here. You can see what I wrote there.
Circled it. Good. Just wanted to make sure. I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, I was honestly like, as I was watching, I'm like, oh, I'm just being like tricked into watching anime Disney right now. Like,
yeah,
but it's really...
There was a point when I was watching where I was like, this is like fairy tale-esque.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
I did like, well, it's definitely inspired by it, right? And I did like too, there was a part where they were showing like in the Shion's mind or whatever too. And in her mind, she's like picturing everything in terms of that Disney movie that I thought that was a cool little touch visually, like to see, like, because they're showing inside an AI's mind, right? So
right,
yeah. And I just like at the beginning and at the like end of the second act, they showed kind of like a visualization of what her mind looked like, and I thought that was really cool. Like, just the imagery of everything going on there. That was really neat to look at, and it looked really good too.
Yeah. I also really like, I'm thinking of the characters here. I like how the main girl kind of looked a little bit like Mikasa a little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's, short hair.
Yeah,
short hair queen.
Yep.
Queen like Makoto from Persona 5.
Obviously, you guys know who my best girl would be in this one.
Actually, I don't know, to be honest with you. But I feel like that was a good hint.
Yeah, I have a feeling I could guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Visually, it knew where it needed to put its budget for sure.
Yeah, and it definitely had enough budget.
Yeah. I kind of had the same thought. When it needed to really show itself, it really did. And it knew when to. But
I wouldn't say like in turn. You have to grade these things on a curve, right? In terms of movie animation, maybe it wasn't as strong as like Shinkai or Ghibli or anything like that. But it knew when it needed to it hit home when it needed to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was still like, if a Shinkai movie is like a 10 out of 10, this would be like solid 8.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty fitting. And then like there wasn't, that said, like there was not really any bad animated moments at all.
No,
Like
no.
nothing ever stood out like, oh, that doesn't look very good. But this when you hear movie animation, you're thinking like Mugen Train, you're thinking like Shinkai movies, you're really thinking of like the elite stuff. And this, it's just not elite, but it's still very good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I said, when it needed to hit its points, it hit them. The other thing that I just want to say regarding the visuals is that scene, is it a spoiler? The fight dance scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was the best part of the movie for me. That was so cool. Like the character animations. That's what really like gets me going, is character animation more than like the big bombastic things.
Yeah.
The what's her name? Shion?
Yeah.
Like her facial
Her facial
sorry.
anime. Did you lose it?
Sorry. I just I lost my train of thought. Her facial animations were great. So like you could really tell like what was going on in her mind.
One thing I liked too about Shion is they kind of gave her a little bit deader of eyes compared to the other characters. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but they definitely captured that like she's convincing as an AI, but she kind of still has like that kind of like lifelessness to her eyes a little bit that you kind of puts her in the uncanny valley just enough. You know what I mean?
I kind
Kinda
of
like
like
what
the
you're
same
saying
with
with the
her
voice.
face, like it just in general.
She was almost overly expressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like her smile was like almost too big.
Yeah.
Her eyes were almost too big
Yeah.
compared to the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all we got to say about the visuals though, eh?
I think so.
So yeah, before we go into spoiler free, Jonathan, do you have any last thoughts on the visuals you want to bring up?
I think it's a gorgeous film. Like you guys said, those scenes with the lights and the flashing, the character animations, the fact that they animated the mouth flaps to match the audios, it's beautiful. You don't get to see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts as we were like, as I was watching the whole thing. I was like, this movie is just, it's so pretty. Like everything about it. Because it's basically a Disney movie meets anime, right?
Yeah, it's not like Makoto Shinkai level, but it's like so close. Like this director, the only other thing I've seen by him is Time of Eve. And I also thought that was a very pretty show for the time, like for a TV anime. It was very, when they're in the cafe, the lighting and the backgrounds is very set the mood. And I felt like this show did it too.
Okay. I think we can move into our final spoiler-free thoughts.
Spoiler-free thoughts? Yeah.
/ recommendations. Who's this for? Who are you recommending this to?
Okay, this is where I can finally just rip into this movie, you know?
Nice.
Like I got a lot of things. No, I don't have a lot of things to say. The only thing I would say is I think that this movie may have served by being like a season of an anime, or possibly maybe less than a full season. But I felt like a lot of the supporting characters, like in the first act of the movie, their problems were introduced kind of clunkily, and then they were all kind of solved clunkily.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that they were important to like how the movie told its story, but they only had so much time to work with.
Yeah.
So I can give it a little bit of a pass because it is a movie, and sometimes you got to get that stuff in there, and you got to resolve those little things.
I kind of appreciate it when they do that, though, when they kind of just like, it's a movie. We just need to have the problem and solve it. Kind of, I don't know. It's not always a bad thing that they just don't dwell on it too long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. It was a little clunky, but
it's not the solving the problem that maybe got to me. It was like, okay, now what's his name? The nerdy character and the jock were like in that room, and like all of a sudden they're like having this heart to heart, and it's like, how are they like friends? Who are they to each other? Like,
yeah, it's almost like when you share a deep secret, you know, like the secret they have to share now, and they're just like, oh, let's open up about our lives. Here's my tragic backstory.
yeah. We're in this small room together. We may as well tell each other our tragedies.
This is the part of the movie where we reveal our backstories and our motivations.
You got to do it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, who's this movie for,
Other
guys?
than that,
Who are you recommending it to?
Oh, right. Yeah. Who's this movie for? I got like, hear me out. I got like Erased vibes from this one for sure. The whole ensemble cast, the one character is kind of the linchpin that brings all of these people together.
Mm-hmm.
Erased is a bit more tragic, and that's got its own thing going on, but I got those vibes in like the ensemble cast.
Yeah.
I guess.
Definitely, I get the vibes. That makes sense.
What was the other one? Mike, you and I watched it that one time where they're like in cyberspace. It was by the guy who directed the Digimon movie.
Oh, Summer Wars. I did think
Summer
of
Wars.
Summer Wars
Yeah.
too when I was watching this. Just mainly because of the hacking.
Yeah,
stuff.
it was whenever they go through like the internet, just seeing
Yeah.
that, like their vision of it. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm. And Disney like princess movies.
oh
Yeah. If you grew up
Yeah.
on Disney, you're gonna get a kick out of this. It's nostalgic a little bit.
I recommend this movie for all Disney adults everywhere.
For sure.
That's me.
Jace?
Yeah.
Recommendations.
I would recommend this movie. So the first thing that came to my mind while I was watching it was Plastic Memories. I don't know if anyone else got that vibe, but like just with the robot and the things that happen to the AI and that.
Is Cole going to bring up Vivi?
You gonna bring up Vivi?
Well, I did think about Vivi, but that's not really what I was going to say. I had no idea that this movie was about an AI.
Neither did I. Yeah. When
I thought it was like,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, like a Glee Club or something like that.
Oh.
I'm not even making a joke. That's what I thought this was going to be. And then I started watching it. I'm like, what? There's robots and like
Yeah.
advanced
What? There's
AI?
robots?
I didn't know this was a sci-fi.
When Jonathan suggested this one to us, you did not a good job of selling it. If you would have said it was robots and sci-fi vibes with like a nice ensemble cast making friends and dealing with their problems, we would have been very sold.
I honestly
yeah.
don't remember how I recommended it.
I think you just said you worked on it. That was it.
I worked on it. So
He worked on it?
It's it's gonna be good.
So
No, just kidding.
I think all that happened was I brought up that you worked on it and asked you to sell it, so you sold it to us.
Didn't take much selling, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
But yeah, I didn't realize it would be that for us. But yeah, it's definitely on brand.
Yeah,
and like it was very good.
If you liked it, I highly recommend Time of Eve, which is like I was saying, his other it's a series he did. I think there's also a film. But it's very the idea is like AI and like androids that look like humans, and you don't know who's a human and who's a robot. And it's like kind of going through that show because you'll be like, oh, this person's obviously a human.
Little
Yeah.
Blade
You know,
Runner-y.
Yeah,
Little Blade
very
Runner.
much that. But like with a lot
what's
more
the test they
feels.
reference? They reference some kind of coffee test. I forget what the name of it is, though.
I think that was
In that
like an
movie.
off-brand Turing test.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think... Because that's ultimately what it was, right? They
Yeah.
were testing this AI to see if it could trick people into believing that it was real, which is famously the Turing test. But they never said Turing test in it. I
Yeah.
don't know. Was it copyrighted?
Did they not?
It
thought,
might be. No, they didn't. In the
I thought
dub
when
for
they
sure.
discover it, he's like, it's this, And I don't.
They said, they said something about a coffee test.
Yeah, it's some
And then they
coffee.
described what the Turing test is.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like we're done with our
maybe there was-
spoiler-free section. So let's.
Maybe there was some like issue in the like the subtitles or something. Maybe it was supposed to be Turing test, but the subtitler put in
Oh my god.
coffee test.
You mean the translator? Hold on.
No,
I have to
it
call
was
it.
there in the dub too. It was
they-
like some kind of. It was like the Higgs boson test, and then it was like that's not what it was, but it was something like that. And then they said it's whether or not a robot can get something about coffee. They didn't really explain it too much. But I think we are out of the spoiler-free recommendations. If you approve,
Mike, you
any of
never
that.
really said what you would recommend this to.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it to. Yeah, like, pretty much you guys said everything I was thinking of. Like, if you like Disney, you're gonna like this. It's definitely like feels like a Disney movie. The way that it's like a musical, but it's also like just like a good anime movie. It's like they took all the tropes of Disney and all the tropes of anime and just made them kith. It's really nice. It's just like a good wholesome movie. I actually like when I was looking through the comments on Crunchyroll because they have comments in there that I like to peruse sometimes. They're not a good place sometimes, but sometimes you get a little bit of nuggets in there and you can see into the insights of people's minds. And someone commented, this was the perfect way to spend a Sunday evening watching this. And I think that's like perfect on the nose. Like you could just watch this in an evening with someone. You're going to have a good time. You're going to feel good. It's not going to change your worldview or anything, but you're going to have a good time watching it.
Yeah. I don't regret watching it.
No,
I had a
neither
good
do
time.
I. Yeah.
I would watch it for the 7th time if given the opportunity.
The ultimate test, the ultimate question that we should ask every time. Cry, yay or nay?
Oh yes, try count.
Jalen, did you cry?
I almost teared up, but I didn't.
Oh, okay. That's pretty close. Michael?
I shed a tear.
Did you?
I did. Yep, one tear. I often get misty-eyed, and like I said during the solar panel scene.
Okay.
It was just so nice. I don't know. It was just so nice.
Yeah,
how about you, Cole?
Scene.
You robot?
Absolutely not. Did not cry.
Never
I enjoyed it, but I
life.
didn't cry. Yeah, I don't cry. Something's wrong with me.
Jonathan?
The first time I watched the film while working on it, I had to stop working multiple times because I was literally sobbing. I'm not joking.
I love it.
And in fact, watching it the sixth time in preparation for this, certain scenes came up, and I was like, I'm not going to cry because I was actually watching it with someone else now. So I was getting warm and shaking a little bit as I teared up, and I was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. So I guess this last time I'll say I teared up. Yeah, I'm a big boy.
I'm not going to cry. Yeah.
I showed that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a specific scene that I guess maybe we can talk about it when we get to spoilers. That
A little teaser for after the break. Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, I was having a rough day, and I was like, I just got to let this emotion out, and I just put that scene on and cried, like legit, just watching it, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
Well,
awesome.
I think that's a good segue into spoilies.
Yes.
Let's talk some spoilies.
Spoilies,
yeah,
big spoily warning.
If you haven't watched this movie, go watch it now. It's roughly like an hour and 40 minutes long. It's on Crunchyroll or wherever else, I think. I think it's basically just Crunchyroll, right?
It's just Crunchyroll, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be just Crunchyroll. I don't know why I said that.
DVD?
Yeah, Blu-ray.
VHS?
Betamax.
Betamax?
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc?
Give me that Laserdisc, yes.
CD-ROM.
8-track tape?
But yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Come back, listen to the rest. We're going to talk some spoilies. I think this one would you'd benefit from watching it not spoiled. But there's nothing too brutal, but like there's not huge spoilers, but I think you're going to benefit from going to this one blind.
I mean, I didn't for a moment think that like, okay, we're in spoilers, right?
And we're in spoilers now.
Okay. I didn't think for a moment that this was going to be like a sad or tragic ending. Like I knew it would be, you know, a happy ending. I knew it would be. But still, like I felt like I got more out of it by not knowing as much about it as, you know, me. I don't care about spoilers, but I feel like I got more out of it by not being spoiled.
I'd agree with that.
I see you guys shaking your head like, what is he talking about?
John, as someone who has seen it more than once, did the fact that you knew about the spoilers do anything with
like
how you enjoyed it?
While rewatching it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I knew. I was like, uh-oh, that one scene's coming up. I better get ready to steel myself. And then was still like... Even in English, I was like, oh, you know, this is different, so it'll be fine. And then I was like, nope, here they come.
No.
It didn't do much.
I was so wrong.
I still get the goosebumps.
Am I the only one who thinks that this was a happy ending?
Oh, no,
this
it's
is a happy
definitely
ending,
a
right?
happy ending.
Yeah, it was a happy
very
ending.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was... I think
did
as happy ending as it could be. I guess we can say what the ending was, right?
Yeah.
The blue laser beam into space.
They upload her to a satellite.
It was ultimately a Marvel movie in the end.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when you ascend to heaven. It's just a satellite.
Oh, I didn't even realize like the heaven parallel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
When I thought what would happen is, remember that scene where they took all of their stuff and the nerdy kid goes back into the room and they took all the computers and stuff and he found
still got the
his
trash
trash
can.
can computer?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's in the trash can computer and they're gonna upload her into the fighting
school
robot.
Boyd? That's what I thought was going to happen too. I thought for
that
sure
was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because they kind of
No, neither
foreshadowed
did I.
that with her doing downloading the program so she could fight earlier.
Yeah, because
And
even
they
she backed
foreshadowed
up
it
to
because there was that one scene where she was hooked up in the lab and she was in that little computer and talking to the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh well, she can like upload her consciousness to a computer and then like
They kind of did have a little bit of payoff to that at
They
the
did.
end.
yeah, I mean she was uploaded to the satellite through the laser beam.
Well, that
space.
and also he put her face on the robot at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did do that.
Oh, you're right. That is
That's just because
full circle.
That's just because he's in love with her, though.
Yeah, no, I know, but like
Can sympathize with that.
I got a little giggle out of that.
I really did not appreciate, though, at the end, the premarital hand-holding. I really felt like that was
I'm showing you my notes again.
It's true. And it's true.
Scandalous hand-holding.
And
Think of the children, I wrote.
You did write that. And Shion is up there in satellite heaven watching every moment. And she's like watching and judging.
Yes.
You know what, though? I'm going to... I'm a few Pepsis in now, and I'm going to tell you guys what I thought when I saw that. She's in a satellite watching them. You know, they're starting this relationship. What will inevitably happen in a relationship? Is she going to watch them like
do everything?
Do everything?
And then ask if she's happy.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's like they just ended. Everyone's like, whew, and then the phone's like, woot, woot, and they're like, hello. It's like, are you happy? It's like,
frankly, no,
not anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and there was no chance that you would ever forget the main girl's name by the end of the movie, with the amount of times that they say the character's name.
Which one, Shion or the other girl?
I had to remember. I was like, what was her name?
Satomi?
Narumi?
Satomi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shion says it so many times as a robot.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say, I think we might have mentioned Akira at some point earlier, and with her being uploaded into a satellite, we don't know if that's like a weapons grade satellite, and I've seen what they can do thanks to Akira.
I thought the same thing.
So
the Soul satellite.
She shoots her own blue laser back if Satomi's not happy, and
exactly.
Like Satomi has a horrible day at work, and all of a sudden she beams his boss as he's driving home in his convertible. Is that what's going to happen in the future?
That's the happy ending.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the middle scene, the one I teared up at, since now we can actually talk about what it is. The scene where they put the Sakuga into it and they put on the little show for Satomi. And then, I thought that was a super nice scene. Just seeing how, like, she finally realizes, like, oh, I have to make you happy to make her happy. Like, that's the tie-in here, right?
Yeah.
That scene, the end of that scene really shooketh me.
Yes.
When the guards came and they just like blasted her to bits. And so anyway, they came in and started blasting.
Bang, bang. Which is
it's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad scene.
I was gonna say that was the one scene my partner reacted to. Like, you know, also Steelface was watching the whole thing, and that happened, and they jumped like really hard, and I was like,
it was
like,
it was like a borderline jump scare, yeah.
It was like out of nowhere, yeah.
And I kind of
led.
Oh, go ahead.
You go.
Oh, I was gonna say, I kind of
please.
felt like, almost in a sense, we might have seen it coming by the way the film was using like lighting and like setting.
Yeah.
Because, you know, most of the movie has been happening during the day, and then when everyone's problems are solved, when he wins, when he wins finally, and they're having their friend party, and it's evening now. And then when they have their big, beautiful musical number, it's nighttime. It's the end. And it's like the end of that dream of making Satomi happy.
That's a good, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. It also led to the most suspenseful scene in the movie, honestly, when Satomi comes home and she's like slowly walking in and her mom's there. Like, I didn't know what her mom was going to do.
Yeah.
I thought it was super good how they handled that situation too. Like, her mom acts like a real person there. You know what I mean? Like, everybody in this movie, that's one thing I noticed, is everybody in this movie actually acts like a real person. Everything they do is believable and makes sense. But yeah, her mom is like sitting there and she's like clearly having the worst day ever, right?
And pretending she's not. She's like, remember I said we're going to go on a trip? LOL.
I only have one glass of wine a day.
Yeah.
And she's like, sit down, I'll pour you a drink. She's a minor.
Yeah. Well, she's clearly like just trying to like, she's clearly seething underneath, but trying not to like, lose it on her kid, right?
Yeah, like remember that scene before she leaves the house, she like throws something at the mirror like out of anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but she does the good grown up thing and doesn't take it out on her kid, but kind of like,
she was like, stay away from me for a bit. I don't want to, like, I might say some things that I'll regret.
And that's the smart thing to do, because you're letting them know, like, I need my space, but it's because I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
So GTFO. And I thought that was a very,
like,
obviously she's
I really
a good
like
mom, but she's very pissed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which like people do get that way, right? Like, you just have to know how to handle it, right?
Mhm.
And
Sorry,
you can-
saying I really liked that. That's a weird. I appreciated that. She got what she needed. No, I appreciated that. Like, it felt real.
Yeah, and you really felt for her because they did, like, her daughter lied to her about everything. Right?
Oh yeah.
She set
So,
her up
like-
for the failure on
Yeah.
accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they're just kind of dumb kids, right?
They're
Like,
kids.
Kids do
Of
dumb
course.
stuff, right?
Of course.
Yeah. I thought, honestly, I was a little surprised. I thought she knew what was going on. I was waiting for like the twist to be that she knew what was going on. I don't know why. I just like when they were going up to go check out, they're like, oh, yeah, there's a boy in her room or whatever. And she goes up there. I thought for sure like she had some kind of like, they thought she didn't know, but she actually knew the whole time. And that was part of the test. But no.
Yeah. The other thing is everything was wrapped up pretty nicely at the end there. Like,
Nice little bow.
not really any loose ends. The only thing I would have appreciated is if the bad guy maybe got some comeuppance, but
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
But you know what? I guess because people act like real people, maybe, he just gets like a stern talking to, like, hey, quit being sexist and trying to ruin this woman.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman.
There was a very small payoff at the end where they're like, like they're in the room and he's like waiting for her to get blasted by their boss. And then he's like, no, good job. We're going to go your way, not this guy's
yeah, no,
way. But it
I
was
appreciated
too small.
that. Yeah, I appreciated that she didn't get like scolded, but I wish that he,
Got blasted by the
Something.
laser beam.
More so. Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
because he'd be the one. You're right. More so than him, it was actually, like everything, like all the important plot points and characters, they all got wrapped up beautifully. The one character where I was kind of like, what happened to you? Like, I want to know. It was the guy she worked with that went out of his way to sabotage her for that man.
yeah, he kind of just got.
The guy was a jerk.
Yeah, like, because, there was the whole backstory when you find out that Shion was like an AI in a Tamagotchi that her mom made. And he went out of his way to purposely delete it. Like, because it's like almost like he could see that there was potential. And he's like, we're just going to delete this. She's like, no way. But then, Shion luckily is like, deuces.
Yeah.
But there's like things I want to know because it's like, he sees Shion at the side of the road, but it's like, he doesn't, stop to be like, hey, what are you doing here? He goes out of his way to be like, oh my God, rogue AI, let's get her, boys. And the scene that I didn't question until I watched it for the 6th time, he's the one who busts Satomi's mom for showing up to work because he's sleeping in his car in the like office's parking garage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of life you leading, bro?
I missed that.
Now that you kind of bring up that character, he's kind of a weird character just from a character standpoint. Like, he's kind of one of the main villains in being like the guy who tried to delete. It would have made more sense for that person to have been the big bad, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought they were setting up for.
It was kind of convoluted that like
There were two
The
different
guy-
people to do this thing.
the guy who was ultimately the henchman, the guy who was sleeping in the car, the guy who was driving
tried to erase Shion immediately.
the guy who erased Shion should have been the suit guy.
Yeah.
It should have been that guy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe
Because then he was the ultimate villain the whole time. And making the why is the person who deleted Shion like this random henchman dude?
I'm just guessing, like, it's the idea of, like, he's just a pawn in the scheme because, the guy, like, points out, he's like, oh, isn't she, like, 5 years your junior and she's this far? Like, what are you doing with your career? So I guess it's, like, easy to manipulate him. But that's, like, my thing with him. I'm like, why are you so easily manipulated? Like, why would you go out of your way to, do all these terrible things to ruin this woman's career instead of trying to push your career forward? Like, like, they already hinted at the beginning, there's, like, sexism. Like, she's like, she's a woman in AI and science, and the men don't like it. So it's like, okay, I guess it's going to be a plot point. But then it kind of, like, really is.
The more we talk about this guy, the more I think he's like a believable character. I don't know. Like, some people just are
Yeah, and that's why I'm
just how
like,
people
jerks
are.
and idiots.
I wanna
don't
know, like,
Sure, but
what
we're not
happened to
talking
him?
about real life. Sometimes you got
I
we're
know,
talking about
yeah.
a movie. Things
I
got to
know.
make sense.
I don't know. I didn't hate it, but yeah, I definitely didn't
No,
like him
and-
as a character. Like, he was a bad.
No,
dude.
yeah, he was sufficiently hateable.
Yeah.
The bad guys were. They were
yeah.
were definitely maybe a little mustache twirly, which
Yeah, I wish it.
hey, I like those villains sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, sometimes you just got to enjoy a great mustache twirling villain.
Yep, just like me.
Yeah.
Especially when they're female.
Just like your wife, the villain of the podcast.
Oh yeah, she is the villain of the podcast. It's true.
She definitely is.
Oh my
Come
God.
to the Discord. You can experience her villainy.
Is she a mod?
She wishes.
Basically,
we keep that power away from
we
her.
can't give her that power though. It's too much.
We've been trying, and she scares us.
Yeah, it's.
It's
But anyway, I also really liked the scene where they were revealing that she was this Tamagotchi that what's his name?
Yeah.
I like that.
basically came up with.
That's the scene I almost cried in.
Yeah,
that was
pretty
the
nice.
scene. That was the scene for me that had the most emotional weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate, I really liked the mirror scene, the solar panel scene.
Yeah.
But that was a little overly bombastic. I liked the reveal that she was kind of there the whole time watching her.
Yeah, that was so brutal. Like when they were showing her watching Satomi growing up, and like the entire time just watching, like, are you happy? And it's
she kept like playing the
Why
song.
are you crying? Here,
Yeah.
listen to my song. And it's like,
oh, that was so heartbreaking. I'm like, oh,
So
no.
that was when I worked on it. I originally teared up during the solar panel scene just because it was so beautiful. It was like it was like I feel like they made this movie with AIs because I just wanted to tell a musical, but they didn't want it to be like random music playing somewhere and then people busting out a song. They're like, "Well, give it a reason. This girl's AI. She hacked the sound system at her school. She's just singing. She hacked this.
Yeah.
It's beautiful."
I appreciated that from a musical standpoint.
Yeah,
like
I like
they
that
made a
too.
musical.
They grounded
I like
it.
that they
actually
could
made
make
it.
it like a realist.
And
That's
they
a
were
cool
like,
touch.
and every character was like so confused at the beginning when she
Yeah.
started breaking out into song. Like, they're
As
like,
you would
what?
be.
Yeah, as a normal. Like, that's the one thing about musicals that I was just like, or that I feel like, why is everyone just like okay with people randomly breaking out into song? This movie solves that problem.
It really
This
does.
is where-
It's like whenever
This is where Jay breaks into song.
Oh
Yeah.
Wait, do we get to hear it?
No.
But
you gonna say, Jonathan?
the mirror scene for me was like the visual high point, and then the going back to what we were talking about, the flashback reveal is definitely the emotional highlight.
So
of the-
good. That was the one where I had to pause it because I was crying so hard. Like
Yeah.
I was sobbing.
I
I could see
it.
that.
Yeah.
I started tearing up, and then like it kind of started to come back. It didn't get to the same place, but like when she woke up, when they like got back there, just because like it felt like a reprise to that scene from earlier.
Yeah, and then the mom just comes like, "I'm sober and totally fine. What's going on here?"
Seeing that this
Let's-
AI,
let's go break
I thought
into
I
my work.
developed. Yeah, she's like, "Get in the car, idiot. We're gonna break into my job."
yeah. Mom,
you
you
had
just
a bottle
drank
of wine.
a whole bottle of wine.
I'm
Don't
so
worry
good.
about it.
She's like, "I'm a fun mom. I get wasted and then I do illegal stuff for the fun of it."
Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool.
But no,
Do any of your friends' parents have a card to get into my work?
Yeah,
as
so
a,
weird that
as
they're
a
just
matter
like,
of fact, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
they all
literally
do.
everyone in that movie
They
has
do-
parents that work at that place.
They do explain it.
They do set that up. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I
being
will
an
say
ass,
that
yeah.
they did it really fast reveal with like I can't remember her name, but the second female lead, and she's like, "Are you sure you want to use your dad's ID to break in?" And she's like, "Yeah, whatever. He's never home and he never pays attention to me." And then it's literally like next scene they do the password, and she's like all sad. They're like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I just didn't realize that the passcode was my birthday." I'm like, man,
Oh,
that was a fast turnaround on that little arc.
and it's like whatever. We're not
Yeah, don't
dealing
worry
with your
about it.
stuff. This movie's not about you.
Yeah, get out of here, stupid girl. You already got your problem solved. You don't need two problems.
Yeah.
But the second scene, the one that I watch just to feel, that gets me is whenever they're hunting down Shion and she falls to the ground and they point the guns and homegirl gets in the way and you're like, oh my god, and then
Don't
all the
do it.
lights turn off and when they turn back on and everything's like, what? But then the lights outside spell out, "Let's sing, Shion." Oh my god.
Yeah.
I will watch that and I will just, that's the one where I was like, watching it the sixth time, I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna
Just
cry. But I'm
clenching
like,
your
I'm about
fist.
to.
Do not cry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
biting the inside of your
thumb.
mouth. Like, oh my god.
I thought that they were gonna shoot my girl, and that the mom would go Super Saiyan. And then,
She just starts beating, she's just bunching everyone, slamming their heads in the computers.
Goes
no,
crazy.
the movie is it's a very, I will say it's a very tight plot. Like it's written very
good movie.
like, efficiently. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's written definitely
For better
as a
or
movie.
worse.
Yeah.
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 let's go into ending thoughts then while we're here.
Oh, we gotta go best boy, best girl.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull up the characters because I'm terrible with names.
I guess I can just start then, unless Jonathan wants to go first.
It's hard for me, man. I love both of the boys. I don't know if I can choose.
They're all good. Yeah. I think I'm going to go for best boy. I'm going to go the guy who was played by Ian Taylor. I forget his name. Ian Sinclair. What is his name? He's the dude who's also in the Electronics Club, but is not, what's her name's? He's the boyfriend.
Goto.
I forget his name.
Goto.
Yeah, Gojo or something like that. Yeah. I think he's my best boy. I liked his vibe. I liked how he kind of got a bit of character development. He's a little mopey. He always thinks that he's second best, but really he is also the best at the same time. He just kind of like self-doubts himself into thinking he's second best. Yeah.
It was kind of interesting because he's a very attractive design, and they make him out like, ooh, he's so popular, but then for him to be like, I'm sad. I was like,
reminds me of Yuki from Fruits Basket.
you know,
kind of same vibe. Yeah.
I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's not the best at anything, but he's good at everything, but he's not the best.
He's never the main
he's
character.
never been able to achieve the pinnacle of anything.
He's already
like
peaked.
me.
Yeah. Who are your guys'
Jay?
best boys?
Jay, best boy?
My best boy would probably be the judo guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like him.
I just thought like he was very funny. Like he was the guy that made me laugh the most. And also I didn't want to pick Toma because I thought that would be way too normie of a pick. Yeah. Cuz like
the judo guy definitely reminded me of the big guy from Erased. Or not Erased, sorry. Anohana.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Erased when I was doing recommendations?
Yes,
you did.
I meant Anohana.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
I meant Anohana.
You should go back and put a little
And
just be like, this is cool. I meant Anohana.
and just
put your
clunkily
voice over
say
it.
Anohana.
Have you seen
No. Cole, just like do a text to speech and put that in underneath. Leave yourself out and put Anohana.
I will do that. Yeah, he reminded me of the big guy from Anohana.
Oh.
Because he was kind of like the fifth wheel in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was that was best boy on Anohana. I love that guy.
Popo, yeah.
Popo.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Popo.
I will probably have to go the normie route and just say Toma because y'all named the other two boys, and I honestly think all the boys were good. So
They're all good. Yeah,
this is good.
Yeah.
And I think this is a rare exception to we usually have a rule where we try not to pick the main character because it's kind of too easy, right? But I think this one's fair. Yeah.
There's only 5 characters in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, he's
Toma.
good.
Toma for me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
As cliched and normie as that is, I like him. He's a nerd.
He's a nerd,
but he's like
with heart.
he's just like obsessed with like what he likes and what he's good at.
Yeah. And also, he just wanted to make Satomi happy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
We would not have this movie if he didn't command the AI to make her happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Best girl, because ultimately it's down to 2.
It really.
There's 3.
There's 3. I can see an argument for Aya.
Yeah.
We'll just say the names
or the mom.
Or the mom. Or the mom. Mommy energy.
Character.
Oh, Cole doesn't
That's
look impressed
true.
with the mommy energy.
Mommy energy. That is true. And
Yeah.
she's got short hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So does
Cole
Satomi,
gets it.
though.
Cole gets it.
Yeah.
Mike, best girl?
You know what? Do I go for the memes and go for mommy energy?
That's what I was gonna do.
I think that's what Jay's doing.
No, I'm gonna go with best girl in this one is Satomi. I think she really is the best girl in this. And she's the main character, right? So it's kind of a cop out, but
Hey man, it's okay. Yeah.
Like I said, I could definitely see an argument for Aya, who Go-chan's girlfriend there, but because I like their whole little arc there that they have. I don't
She
know.
really
I liked
redeems
her arc.
herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did like their arc.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Jaylian? What human character did you most associate
Can
with?
you empathize with the human emotions?
Have you got that program yet?
So my favorite, my best girl is I'm gonna go with Satomi's mom.
Nice.
She's like Satomi, but older.
But, I mean, like, okay, one, you got to see like her
She's a working
relationship
woman.
let me
She provides.
She's very strong. She throws a thing and breaks a mirror.
So I loved her relationship with Satomi, just like when they're like outside and they're like, "Oh, you have a good job, or you have a good day today. Oh, you too," and like they have a great relationship together. And then just like when she breaks down and she has like that absolute meltdown, I really felt for her and I really like empathized with her. I felt that way for Satomi as well. Like I liked her, but I think like the character that really made me like, no, I just want to give her a hug. That was Satomi's mom. So
Everyone needs a hug in this
everyone
movie.
needs a hug. Yeah. Just a big old
Hug it out.
John?
Jonathan?
I would say Satomi or her mom. They were very good. I want to say Shion, honestly, but she, like, while she's a pure character, she was too one note for me. So
Yeah.
I will have to go with Aya, who goes from mean girl, antagonizing Satomi in like literally her first scene, like, I didn't mean to bump you, don't tell on me, to like, we're best friends, let me hook you up, girl. She's a good character.
Yeah, she did have a good arc. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
She kind of honestly had almost the most character development of the girls, I would almost
really
argue.
did.
She
really
did.
did.
Yeah.
Which is like a sign of a good movie when the side characters are having, honestly, some of the best stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Satumi for me as well. I felt like she was the most... I liked her arc as well, like where she learned to like allow people to like care about her, you know? It was nice. It was nice.
Yep.
And the fact that she was like selfless from the very beginning, like her whole tattling thing was, because of her friend.
Yeah.
It was sweet. It was sweet. I liked her. All of them were good though, like we've all said.
All the characters are good in this.
Shion, yeah, I echoing what John said. I wish I could pick her as best girl, because like that's the obvious choice. Most people would probably pick her, but yeah, she's a bit one note. Like she's just a cinnamon roll, and that's all.
Yeah.
That's all there is to her.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
But that's why you must protect her at all costs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's definitely got protect energy, but
Yeah.
Satumi is just more interesting to me, and short hair.
Short hair. Cole Cole has a thing for short hair.
Oh.
That's the thing.
Yeah. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Mikasa got better when she cut her hair. Anyway,
Wrong.
let's
say, what character trope would this anime be? We rate shows on a scale of protagonist, supporting character, background character, henchman, or antagonist. And since you are our guest, Jonathan, let us know, what kind of character is this anime?
Oh, definitely got protagonist energy.
Heck yeah.
Because, it's a musical and with like huge sets, especially in the middle and the ending, actually. It's definitely a commanding attention.
I'm into it.
Shonen
I like
protag.
it. I like it.
I will
Mikey?
also go protagonist for this one. Honestly, I want to find something I didn't like about it, but I just really enjoyed this movie. I don't know what there is not to like. It was good. Very good even.
Joseph?
I will give it a supporting. It was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. I think that, like what Cole said earlier, that they could have had a bit more time. Like if they had a bit more time to flesh out the characters and give them like more of a, like more to do with their arcs and also just like them meeting and becoming friends. I would have enjoyed that. That said, I did like their dynamic together.
Yeah, once they all become friends, it's definitely it's believable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But if it got more time to get to that point from the beginning, then I would have liked to see that. But that said, great movie. I would recommend this, so I would give this a supporting. Cole.
Supporting for me as well. Same thing. I almost a perfect movie except for those slight pacing issues at the start. One thing I will say is there's that scene in the music room where they're all like chasing each other in, and the last person that runs in is what's his name, Thunder or whatever they call him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is our main group of characters. Like they've all assembled in this one place. This is our friend group now.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah. It knew what it was, and it kind of didn't care that it knew what it was.
Yeah. No. Like no. I again,
not
like
a bad thing.
I totally understand why there was those pacing issues at the start of the movie. If it was a 2-part movie, it would have been protagonist, but just because of that, first act, antagonist for me. terrible.
There you
movie.
have it.
Really sucks.
It's officially a protagonist / supporting character right across the board, which I feel like fits. It's
Yeah. It's a solid 4.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Now, what do you say we go into Jay grilling Jonathan for a long time?
Yes.
Sure.
Now is well, hopefully not too long of a time.
Yeah.
No.
We're running
I
long
just have
already.
a couple questions for John here. And,
Listen, we just got a couple questions to
yeah.
ask you, if you don't mind.
So speaking
Ask them
of,
in your best public radio voice.
Cole, let him ask his questions.
So, first question.
sorry.
Speaking of making this movie into a series, how does subtitling a movie like Sing Harmony differ from subtitling shows for a simulcast?
Normally with simulcasting, we have a much tighter turnaround. Like we receive materials pretty quickly and have to push out, what we're going to put up because it needs to hit, quality control and stuff before, it usually goes up. So those are much tighter turnarounds. We usually give maybe 4 hours on average for a 30-minute episode. But with Sing a Bit of Harmony, it's nearly 2 hours. So I got much more time with it. So I had a lot more fun, actually getting to watch and enjoy it as I worked on it. With the fabulous script provided by Michelle Timon. I'm sorry. Kept the other thing where I said the wrong translator's name. She did great. It was just it's great to work with translators who've been doing it for a while. So a lot of the stuff you can catch, like punctuation or grammatical errors or even spelling issues, there was almost none of that. I got to just basically time it and enjoy it as format.
Makes your life easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just going off Jay's question there a little bit. Would you say that what would you say that you get extra out of that extra time? What can you how does that change your process a little?
Process for work, not much, but my enjoyment as an anime fan getting to work on this media, it's a lot, because whenever I'm working on a simulcast, it's kind of okay, let me do as much stuff as possible. I gotta try to get this going, make sure the timing's good, get as many mistakes as I can catch on my end before it goes to QC. Well, this one, it's I can actually kind of sit back and enjoy it and watch it. Like I said, because how I usually do it, I do multiple passes before I even export what they're going to work off. So that's why I had already watched the movie 4 times before they even got the subtitles exports from my end. Totally worth it, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are shows ever resubbed to better fit the context of a show, when they're redone for a home release or something after a simulcast, or is it normally just done once and then kept over?
I think it's I haven't really had any instances where the translator's gone back and been hey, because of this thing we're going to change this. Usually when it's home video, they'll go through their own scripts while watching it and they'll catch I meant to put this, or this was a typo that wasn't caught at all. I caught it. So that's usually what we deal with, I feel. But not when it goes to home video. No, not normally any re-subtitle.
I know that because Japanese and English are two completely different languages.
Good point, Jay.
Yeah, sometimes things might be translated in a different way, or they might have meant something that worked in a different context.
Oh, I'm sure that's happened, honestly. I just can't, off the top of my head, recall a time. I feel if anything, maybe Higurashi Go or Sotsu might have had that, where it was this was actually supposed to be for that. Because I remember catching one on my end where Rika's character says a line that she's known for saying in the original anime, where she says, can you believe this, at the end of every episode preview, and she did it again. And it was translated almost completely differently, and I was kind of hey, this is a recurring thing from the original show that they're making reference to. So I know that was changed.
Oh yeah. That's really, really cool. I'm sorry, I'm not a good interviewer, so maybe I'm not doing this.
No, you're good.
As well as I thought it would be.
Good interviewee.
I do have one more question for you, and I think that this would be a very easy one to answer for you. But what would you say is the hardest part about subtitling anime?
My back, because sitting all day.
Oh, yeah. I feel your pain. I work at a desk all day, too.
It's actually kind of an issue. I need to, get up more.
I actually ordered one of those posture things. I'm gonna
for
start
real?
like it's supposed to come in from Amazon tomorrow, so I'm gonna be like this thunder
Good.
chest.
Let me know
Even
how
more
that works
robotic.
out. I feel like as the years have gone by, I'm like hunching over my computer more, and soon I'm just gonna turn into like Golem from the Lord of the
Quasimodo.
Rings. Yeah, Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. Yeah.
Singing at my anime.
Yeah.
But no, I think the hardest thing, honestly, is sometimes with deadlines is like an issue, or getting like materials late. And it can be from like the licensor sending it over later, and then the translator working what they can, and then I get it and I have to like crank it out.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's usually the hardest, but it's always the like time crunch, because as a subtitler,
Gross.
I also do closed captioning too. So it's like not only will I do subtitles for Japanese, but a lot of the times with like English dubs, sometimes we won't get like finalized video until like the day it's gonna go out or whatever. And it's like, oh,
jeez.
I gotta caption this really quick.
That is quick.
That
So
is
it-
very quick. Oh,
Kinda
sorry, go
just-
ahead, Mike.
It just kind of just sounds like standard job problems. Like,
Yeah.
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 Just slightly different with anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just he gets to do something cool.
Yeah,
You
he gets
and
to do
Mike,
cool
we
stuff.
get
This is a
to
cool
we get to
job.
like what do I get to do at the end of the day? Go home? Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
But home
My
is
life
where the
is
waifu is.
Just wasted.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I want to tell people I want to tell everyone.
What?
Rem best girl. Amelia can suck it.
I'm sure there's
Amelia's
lots
the
of fans
only
that want
important
that.
girl in that show. I don't know what you're talking about, except for maybe Ram.
I'm gonna
Save
have
it
to
for the
watch
ReZero
it.
podcast.
I'm gonna watch it. I want to join
You should
in this
watch it.
argument.
It's good.
It is
It is good. Jay, did you have any other questions?
I do have one more, but before we get to
I
that,
have one too.
okay, has there ever been like a time where you're just like watching a show that you did and you like see a typo and you're just like, I want to go back and fix that?
Yes, all the time. You don't understand. Like I not to be dramatic and not to like. I guess I'm gonna out myself with this one. I almost quit my job in, I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was right before the pandemic hit. I got, not to go too deep into it, I got kind of pressured to crank out a Fruits Basket trailer.
Oh,
no.
And
God.
it was so, the turnaround was so tight that no one quality controlled it. So like, I was like, okay, I timed it the best I can. Here's the things, like, let me know. But I didn't hear anything back. So I was like, okay, it's good. But it went up, and it was like, I think it was a super title for like written and created by Natsuki Takaya. It's just up through the whole trailer while the dialogue's going. And I was just like, I was so embarrassed. And like, I'm a big anime fan myself. I actually read the comments like an idiot.
Oh, that's a bad move.
And so I saw it on
Don't do that.
Facebook, and I was like, oh my God. So I went to the YouTube, and I think it was up on YouTube too, and people were like, oh, idiots that, why can't they do anything right? Like, who did this? They should get fired. And I was like, I should just quit. And I literally was like, I guess I'm quitting. And I almost
I'm glad
quit
you did
over
it.
I'm glad I
I'm
didn't.
so glad you didn't.
I think this is a good point to mention that the people who make things are people too. Be nice to them. They make the thing you love.
There aren't AIs to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't let there be AIs. Like,
No.
I like having
Yeah.
this job. I think
Yeah.
there was an issue like that. I didn't almost quit over this one, but I had to push out the trailer for Higurashi Sotsu, I think. And the super titles were bottom aligned, so they're like popping up on top of the subs. And I was sitting there like, I was holding my head, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't catch it, so I'm embarrassed. But then I was like, what? Nobody else looked at this before it went up? And the comments again, they were like, don't they know that text is supposed to go at the top? And I'm like, I know, I messed up.
Yeah. I had 1 hour to do this, start to finish. Yeah.
That must have been so frustrating. But let's lighten this up a little bit. What's your favorite part about subtitling anime?
Oh, getting the chance to work on stuff I adore. I'm a huge Danganronpa fan, sorry for admitting that. I begged to work on...
I love Danganronpa. So
Danganronpa 3. I was like, please let me have it. I begged for Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc, Full Metal Panic Season 4, and then, of course, Higurashi, Fruits Basket, and this one I was like, I'll work on it. I kind of wish I begged for it. But getting the chance to work on something I like truly love as a fan, I guess, is a good thing.
No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm. It'll
Cool,
please
good.
you to know that I exclusively watched the subs of Fruits Basket.
That's me.
They were terrific.
It was... oh, sorry.
No.
I just wanted to give props because I always feel like, people think as a subtitler I also translate. I wish that was the case. But that was translated by Joanne Liu for I think season 1, and then Sarah Lindholm for the rest of it. And she's our like in-house, and she also is a huge fan, and I adore her work. She's the best. Shout out.
Big news. Fruits Basket is really good. I have one last question, unless Jay, you got any more?
I have one
I'm
more.
tapped out, so
Mike, you go ahead.
Oh, okay.
My question,
Mine's an easy
I
one.
think, should be a last one.
Okay, mine's super easy. You know, like in anime when they subtitle and they'll like leave room in the middle for like the bazongas or something like that. Have you ever done anything fun like that when you're subtitling?
No, I kind of wish. Like, a lot of times I try to
leave room for the
place,
plot,
but
you know?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I should have said.
I can't think of any times I went a little crazy. Especially because how we have to do subtitles for simulcasts usually.
Yeah.
It's all just like, it has to be in the middle, top, bottom. The only time you get to see it is like if you watch the home video versions.
Oh yeah,
But
cool.
gotcha.
Yep.
Sorry.
One last question.
Okay.
After subtitling this movie, did you have to replace your keyboard due to the amount of tears that were soaked into the keyboard itself? Or were you able to salvage it after
I was
the fact?
able to salvage it. You know, I've spilled an entire like 32-ounce glass of water on it, so this keyboard can take a tear or two. I did cry into it multiple times though.
Yeah?
I feel bad.
No,
It's seen me
okay.
react to anime all kinds of ways at this point. Lots of tears,
question.
lots of yelling.
I'm obviously a very good broadcaster. That was my one question for you. And now's my chance to be a good broadcaster again as we go into our ending spiel. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. If you got anything to say to us, that's the best way to do it, at AniProPod. That's ANIPROPOD. My Twitter, if you want to yell at me individually, is at AniProCole. That's ANIPROCOLE. Jay, what's your Twitter?
You can follow me at JGaredian, JayGareDian. And Mike, where can they find you?
Follow me at Gritty Gundam, GrittyGundam. And Jonathan, do you want people to follow you, know where you are or anything?
Sure. I don't mind. My Twitter is KurumiLover, KurumiLover, bringing it back to Stan Kurumi and Stephen Foster.
Yeah,
Nice.
full circle.
I thought it was a Day Live thing.
So did I.
Everyone
What do I
does.
know?
People send me a lot of things. They're like, "Oh, I love her too," and I'm like, "No, wrong Kurumi. Sorry."
Wrong. Totally wrong.
Get lost.
I like the
Get
'90s
losers.
pink-haired maid girl before Moe was a thing. Sorry.
Leave a like, review, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It helps us out. Whether you're listening to us on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, no matter where it is, tell a friend and come to our Discord and talk to us. We're lonely and we need more friends. Links to all of our stuff is at Linktree. That's linktree.ee/AniProPod. And that's it. That's the podcast for this week.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Good broadcaster, Cole. Good job.
I am a professional. But until we come back next week, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, we say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.